Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Deku Was a Big Daddy. Last time Deku was in where Stain was and he defeated Stain. So I am actually just gonna skip to when Bakugo was kidnapped. Oh, so yeah. It's a bit of a big time skip, but I think this is gonna be the last episode. Running out of motivation. So, yeah, let's get into it. And so Deku's just roaming the street when he senses a little sister and goes to it, which is a bouncer. And the bouncer immediately, without Deku even threatening the little sister, immediately goes after Deku. But Deku teleports out of the way of the charging bouncer. And while the bouncer has its back to Deku, freezes his legs, the bouncer's legs, and then shatters them, leaving the bouncer without legs. So, and yeah, then Deku finishes the bouncer and frees the little sister. Then he hears the big sister screeching, and the big sister comes up behind him, but Deku swings his drill but misses, and the big sister jumps above him and hits him right in the face with a strong kick before following it up with using telekinesis and throwing stuff at him. But Deku uses telekinesis too and spun around the objects, reversing them back to the big sister. And while the big sister was stunned for a bit, Deku charged in and drilled the big sister, and big sister went flying into a wall. As Deku tried to finish off with his rivet gun, the big sister dodged it by teleporting behind him, and it shot multiple fireballs, which knocked Deku off his feet, but he teleported right before he was gonna land, fall on the ground, and he teleported behind the big sister, so he fell onto the big sister and pinned her down, and then he finished while the big sister was pinned. Deku finished it. Then Deku heard an explosion coming from afar, which he went to check out, of course. When he arrived, he saw pro heroes, Big Daddies, Rosie, Bouncer, Big Daddies, Rosies, Big Sisters, and Splicers, and Rumblers alike, and some Nomus. And Deku's for... Then Deku charged in, going full hammer, guerrilla warfare on all the people there. Using fire to burn the gas canisters, burn the big sisters, and keep making the other big daddies keep their guard up, and he freezes the floor to make the big sisters lose balance and the splicers to fall, and the rumblers to slip and shoot their missiles accidentally, causing massive destruction. Deku attacks a bouncer and bashes it over the head, and then drills his stomach as he tosses it on a on a big sister who is pinned to the ground, and Deku pulls out his rivet gun and shoots it right in the head. And then the rest of the splicers show up, and Deku charges through them and freezes them and charges through them, making them shatter. As a Rosie approaches behind Deku, Deku takes punches the gun and electrocutes the Rosie's rivet gun, causing it to explode right in his face, causing the Rosie to be stunned, and then Deku finishes it off with his drill. Then a couple of Nomus show up, but Deku just shoots through their heads with his rivet gun. And he frees the little sisters. And the heroes are still there. They're in shock as they see the power of Deku. Yeah. And then Deku looks to a big crater where he sees the League of Villains and an old friend. And Bakugo. Bakugo is currently being attacked relentlessly and as the villains trying to capture him. So Deku steps in. So he charges in and immediately knocks Mr. Compress out as Darby turns to him and shoots him with his fire. But Deku negates the attack with his own fire and charges at Darby and knocking him completely out. And then he gets attacked by Twice, who sends a bunch of clones of himself at him. But Deku freezes, and he just just shoots his fire, and the clones melt because it's made out of mud. I don't think it's how it works, but it's gonna work in this what if, so whatever. Then Toga attacks him, but she just slapped to the side. Then an unexpected face shows up. Ryan. As Ryan tries to take control over Deku, he pulls out his rivet gun and shoots Ryan a couple of times. But then Ryan pulls out a gun and tries to shoot Bakugo, but Deku jumps in front of the bullet, blocking it. And Bakugo is caught by surprise with his Big Daddy protecting him. What are you doing here? But since Deku didn't respond, he just kept fighting. Then he just walked up to Ryan and drilled him through the chest. Then he heard a lot of sirens go off. If you hear this message and these sirens, it has mean that I have passed, and now, as my final doing, I am sending in 100 Big Daddies, 50 Big Sisters, and 200 Splicers. Whoever you are who killed me, better start praying. As so many Splicers, Big Daddies, and Big Sisters close in on the location, causing a fucking ruckus, and causing All For One there, who is there by the way, to make teleport away the League of Villains. Deku gets ready to fight them all, and Bakugo says, "Whoever you are, I'm going to help you." But Deku snarled at him, "No, you're going to die." And he's like, "I can handle myself." And Deku grabs Bakugo. And in a surprising move, he takes off his helmet. And Bakugo is completely frozen in shock as he sees Deku. As Deku speaks up, "Rescue the little sisters and the citizens who are in danger, and most importantly, don't die." That's an order," Deku said. Bakugo was completely stunned at this, that he sees Deku of all people. And then Deku says one final word, "I will hold them off. I do not care if I will die." And then Bakugo just nods as he turns away. And he says one thing to Deku, "Die a hero." Deku nods as he turns to the splicers, the bouncers, the Rosies, the big sisters, the rumblers, and he gets ready. He takes on his helmet and charges in on the splicer, freezing them, shattering them, shooting a lot of rivets, and he shocks the Rosie's guns to destroy them, and he shoots the likes of the big sisters and freezes them to make them fall to the ground. And as he puts bursts out of flames and giving it all he's got, drilling bouncers, throwing them on other bouncers to distract them as he destroys their arms and tosses them to the side and just ripping and tearing until it is done. Doom Eternal reference, or Doom in general reference. Yeah, he's putting out his all as he's suddenly caught off guard by a bouncer and gets a drill to the side, and then but he repels the bouncer, and then he gets shot several times from behind by rumblers, and he fights them off. He uses, as he's about to lose, he uses all his plasmid in one big attack, causing a huge chunk of the enemies left being killed. As he fights more fire, ice, teleporting everywhere, telekinesis, electro bolts, everything. He uses everything he's got until he gets pierced by the final bouncer as he puts the rivet to the bouncer's heads and shoots him. As Deku sees the wound straight through his chest, he takes off his helmet and breathes in fresh air for real and enjoys his final moments as he collapses to the ground. And yeah, so after that, he gets his funeral attended and all that jazz, and he gets a statue built of him. And yeah, that's the entire What If. So hope you enjoyed. Please suggest new What If ideas, and yeah, see you next time.